But I don't like to talk shit on this podcast, so I'll be
Yeah,
taking that
no,
out.
you've never done that.
I mean, yeah.
Welcome to Court Captains, a volleyball podcast.
Where we talk all things Pro Volleyball Federation. I'm Kelly.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Ian. And this week, we are talking Sunday Funday. Everyone in the league in action in a single day for the first time ever. The first time, I mean, I guess this season's the first time it's been mathematically possible. But what are you gonna do?
What are you
So,
gonna
you
do?
know what? We're gonna do a fun chat about the entire Sunday and the entire week at the end, but let's get this scorner out of the way to start so the people that are just here for this award-winning segment can go about their way. They don't have to listen to the rest of the pod of us having opinions. All right, here we go. First, it was Thursday, January 30th. Orlando at the Grand Rapids Rise. You could find this game on YouTube. The Rise won a long five-setter. They dropped two of the first three sets, but won the last two in a row. Erica Pritchard was nasty. She had 18 serves with an ace, no errors, 21 kills on 50 swings at 340. Added five blocks in there too. Marion Grote also nasty, 8 kills on 13 swings at 538. Anytime we see a 500, we like that. Also five blocks. The Rise really shut down Adora and Brittany Abercrombie. But on the losing side, Natalie Foster, 12 kills at 370 with five blocks. Courtney Schwann, 11 kills at 320, still pretty good. Filling in, but it's five sets. They played okay, just couldn't get it done. Also, that Thursday evening, Atlanta Vibe at the San Diego Mojo also could be found on YouTube. And Atlanta won in four over the Mojo. Well, the Mojo, though, silver lining, won the first set they've ever won against Atlanta. So you got to start somewhere. You know, that hasn't happened yet in the history of the league. So
Wait, I'm
that's the
sorry.
first time. It's the first time they've ever won a set against Atlanta in the history of the PVF.
My
Wow.
jaw's on the floor.
Yeah. So they were, you can take that away. Take that away. Feel good about it because Leah Edmond also, she was pretty incredible. 21 kills on 40 swings at 475. Mia Tuaniga added 7 kills on 10 swings to her 57 assists on the night. Veronica Stone and Kendra Dahlke were okay, but it was really just Leah Edmond destroying everyone. So it happened. Friday, January 31st, Columbus Fury at Omaha Supernovas on YouTube. It's starting to feel like a little bit of a foregone conclusion when one of these teams gets out on the floor right now. Columbus's woes continue in Nebraska. They lose 25-21, 25-18, 25-17 in the sweep. Omaha led on the night by Reagan Cooper with 8 kills on 18 tries. But they really didn't have to get out of second gear on the evening. Kayla Caffey had a nice night, 4 kills on 7 swings. But the team, they hit 250 on the night. They had 13 blocks. They had 12 service errors and only one ace. Still won with a sweep. Also that evening, Indy Ignite at Vegas Thrill on VBTV. Vegas, another reverse sweep. That might be like three on the season so far that they've had. And yeah, they started this week of them asserting their dominance at the top of the league standings. They lost the first set 18-25, the second 25-21, and then won 25-22, 25-12, 15-9 to finish their reverse sweep. 25-12, one of the nastier sets we've seen so far this season. Hannah Maddox had a tough day getting blocked 7 times, still finished with 15 kills at 150, and Cameron Hanna had 16 kills on 36 swings at 389. Indy hit 140 on the day, and it just kind of went downhill the whole. Started pretty good, and then yeah, over the last two sets they hit negative, so didn't finish too great. Then we got to Sunday, the aforementioned fun day at the top of the episode. Everyone in play. It started with Omaha at Orlando on YouTube. Omaha, after sweeping Columbus, falls victim to the other side of the sweep. They lost 25-22, 25-18, 25-20 to the Valks. Hard for me to hold it against them, though. It might be one of the quickest turnarounds we've had in the PVF from Thursday night to Sunday afternoon.
Just a quick
It was
note on
quick.
that one. This is the
Mhm.
first time in franchise history that Omaha has been swept.
Oof.
Well,
Whoa.
They've never lost 3-0 until this
So much
moment.
history. So much history this week.
There's a first time for everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nasty game for them to lose. The Velks hit 305 as a team. They were led by Brittany Abercrombie, who had 16 kills on 45 swings at 244, and Adora, who had 13 kills at 312. Natalie Foster also had 3 blocks with her 7 kills, hitting 500, so pretty good. It was a bad loss for Omaha, but they had a sweep earlier in the week, kind of evens out, I guess. After that, I guess right around near the end of that game, the San Diego Mojo at the Grand Rapids Rise started, also on YouTube. The Sunday Showcase continued with another sweep, the Rise winning in three at home. This one a bit closer, 25-19 in the first set, 25-22 in the second, and 25-22 again in the third. But the Rise made it 2 wins on the week. Nia Shime had 14 kills on 27 swings at 333, pretty nasty. And another awesome game from Player of the Week, Erica Pritchard, with 10 kills at 381. Both of them threw in a couple blocks as well. And Allison Bastianelli had 7 blocks with her 4 kills. August Rasky also had 4 kills with the 37 assists. Both of them hit over 400. So pretty nice. On the losing end, Kendra Dalkey still had a good game. 12 kills, hit over 200, but it was the Rise that day. Then, national television showcase. Columbus Fury at Indie Ignite on FS2. It's the third sweep of the day and the second sweep for the Fury on the week. They lose 25-20 in the first, 25-20 in the second, 25-17 in the third. Lydia Martin, 5 blocks, 5 kills at 444 for Indy. And they were again led by Lekator with 13 kills, hitting 250. She also had 2 blocks. And in the end, Indy out-hit the Fury 261 as a team to 093 to the Fury, and the Fury fall to 0-7 on the year. They've only won 7 sets in those 7 games they've played. We'll talk a little bit more about that after the last game of the week, which was Atlanta at the Vegas Thrill on YouTube. It was a 4-setter. Vegas didn't have to do a reverse sweep this time because they won the first set. So it was 25-23. They then won the second set as well, 25-23. Lost the third, 19-25, and then finished it off with a 25-19 fourth set. Hannah Maddox, 16 kills at 233, was only blocked once in this game after being blocked 7 times earlier in the week, so thought that was pretty good. She also had 3 blocks of her own and 3 aces. Cameron Hanna had 10 kills at 269 and a couple blocks as well. Atlanta, though, one of the first over 300 losses I've seen so far this season. They hit 300 as a team to Vegas's 250.
Oh.
Merritt Beeson finished with 15 kills, 34 tries, and Corey Lewis had a ridiculous night with 15 kills, hitting 542 and
They
two
both had
blocks.
they had the same amount of attempts too.
Yeah,
Wow.
those first couple of close sets. Atlanta lost both of them. I think in the first set they were up 19-15, and then Vegas had a 5-point run and won. Close at the end of the set. So, yeah. So really, really, that was by far the best game of that Sunday. It was a nice one to end on and a nice one to end the week. And that's the scorer.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, it was a nice this is the in-between Super Bowl week. So it was a nice traditional Sunday football viewing experience where you're kind of in and out of consciousness on the couch.
Well, good. Well, great. Should we do a little bit of a deeper dive into the Sunday matches?
Yeah, let's talk about
Omaha.
Sunday.
Omaha
It
at
started.
Orlando. I felt like the pin hitters, so Orlando's pin hitters were truly fantastic.
Yeah.
Mixing up a lot of shots, hitting off speed, all the different angles, right? Hiding their tips. I saw Courtney Schwann is really good at pulling her elbow back real strong, like she's gonna wail on it, and then at the very last minute switching to the poke over. And this was a rare match where I felt like the Omaha defense had no answer. Usually they're so strong. Brooke got hit with the ball in the shoulder multiple times. Nadi just like seemed like she was there and then shanked it. I felt like typically those two are so reliable and they were both very off against. Give credit to Orlando's pin hitters like for that reason.
I feel like Adora, like this year, just so consistent.
Hmm.
Like, and I
Yeah,
think
she's
last year
been
she had
really
some
great.
random injuries, right? If
We
I'm,
don't know. We're not
yeah.
sure. Ian was really mad one time when she got taken out and we
Oh,
didn't
right.
know. We wondered if it was an injury or if
Yeah.
it was just feelings,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Not
I don't know.
Adora's,
It
Amy's.
just seems like she's doing great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
she's cruising.
I wrote
Great job.
down in my notes, I bet they didn't use the middles that much overall. Like I wanted to look at the at the numbers and see, but I wrote that and then I said, but while I'm watching, I feel like Champu set them in the right moments. Like
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know if they're getting set a ton of times.
Yeah.
Well, so let's see. 13 attempts for Kaz Brown and 14 attempts for Natalie Foster compared to double for Adora, 32. Brittany had 45 attempts. Courtney Schwann had 19.
Yeah.
Although Lindsay Vanderweide came in for Courtney a little bit here and there, she had 4 attempts. So
Bill, I feel
actually
like
not bad
I was gonna
on
say 13 and 14 is actually pretty good.
for a 3-set match. Like,
Yeah.
Well, and earlier in the week they had what Natalie Foster had 27 and Kaz Brown had 22 in that long five setter they lost to the Rise.
mhm.
Brittany Abercrombie had 60.
Okay, gotta bring up this week, Orlando did this double libero situation.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I didn't know that was legal still.
yeah, neither did I because no one fucking does it. It's
The DL,
what does the DL mean? Double libero?
the
Got
Double,
it.
double
yeah.
I
libero.
was like the down low. What do you Okay. So, to the extent that this is being executed by Amy right now, is that one libero will play serve receive and play that point out. And then when that point is over, if Orlando gets the point and now their team is serving, a different libero will go in and play only defense for the rest of that point. So you've got one libero who plays the one serve receive ball and then defense for the remaining rallies.
Yeah.
And then you have a second libero who is never playing serve receive, obviously, because she's only in when her team is serving. And so she'll play defense for the rest of it. But that means that they are running and switching every single.
Yeah. Every single side out.
And in the first match, it was Georgia Murphy as usual. And she was the serve receive person, I believe. And Nalani Iosia. Anyone know? I don't know exactly how to. Iosia. She's a very good defender. So she's been the libero for the defense side. And then in this match against Omaha, heard from the announcers, or maybe it was gossip, unsure, that Georgia Murphy was sick. So Shannon Scully played
Oh,
in the serve
She was
receive
hanging.
libero spot. What do we think of this?
bold move.
Bold move, Cotton.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see
Well,
how.
explain it to me. Like why? Like what is even is the motivating factor behind it? Like,
Your libero can't serve receive, I guess.
yeah, or are you just
That would be
thinking
the.
like, why not? If one is better at one thing,
Because
just
the
be like,
one
why
has to
not?
do both of
Yeah, yeah.
the skills.
Yeah, it seems to me like one of the base qualifications of being a libero at the professional level is that you can serve receive
Sure.
and play defense. So I don't know. It's like it's just like a little odd. I don't know.
The side of this that could be is like you've got two amazing liberos and you want them to split time. Like you've got two
Yeah.
good players.
Yeah, that's like the altruistic version of this.
Me, altruistic. Here's the
Is
thing.
it something that you would see more in college when they have like
No.
a buttload of
Oh.
subs, or are they not even doing it in
I
college?
don't even know if it's legal in college. And
I know when they created this rule,
yeah, I was in
I
high
thought that it
school.
was more for like if a libero was bad, you can swap your libero like for another
Yeah.
one, you know?
Yeah.
Or if there's a bit of an injury, right? Like when this
Yeah.
was created in the early 2010s,
Yeah.
late 2000s,
Yeah.
it was like so now you're not stuck. You
Yeah.
have two options.
Or like you have one libero go in during 3 rotations where it's a certain offense that they're facing, and then you flip
That's a
them
good
for
one.
other offense.
Right.
Like you could see that, but that's not
But-
what's happening here.
Every point feels so chaotic
Yeah.
to the point where it feels like we've talked about, at the pro level and at high levels of volleyball, you tend to only see a 5-1 So 5 hitters and one setter. And we've been seeing this double sub every once in a while where you put another setter in for a couple rotations, but then when she comes out and your original setter goes in, it's just your original setter for the rest of the set. The setter is the quarterback. That's the only sports metaphor that I continue to go back to. I hate all other sports metaphors, for the record. At one
Like the
point, someone was
libero
like,
is the pass rushing left end. So
at one point, I heard an announcer say, I believe it was my guy Paul, like a middle back went and got a ball. And he was like, from center field.
center
Yes.
fielder.
I heard
Yeah.
that. I
Get the
definitely heard that.
Do we have to? Okay, so I'm sorry.
From middle
It-
back. Look at how easy that is.
It's the same number. Is it the same number of syllables? Yes. But the quarterback setter metaphor is one that I am fine with. But I don't know. Is there a second person who plays all the time and has a big the libero is that, right? If the
Yeah.
libero's there all the time, providing the consistency in the back row, telling her fellow serve receivers where to go and what to do, the setter is the one who's coordinating with the front row, right?
Yeah.
Like
I've always
that
thought
is a
about
nice
it.
consistency.
Yeah. I've always thought about like libero is running the back row and the setter is running the front row. Like those are their domains.
That's why we don't even need to come up with another metaphor in another sport because this is just the way volleyball is and it's nice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
this
I think-
throws that out, you know?
Yeah. And obviously Orlando, they lost to Rise, but then obviously it worked out against Omaha. And maybe that's what threw Omaha off.
Right. They had to get used to it
I don't
against
know.
Rise.
I don't know, especially for serve receive is such a delicate thing. And so when I see you have, especially with their game against Omaha, they put in Shannon Scully.
Look at her numbers. Look at them.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah.
I-
I mean, Adora
Sorry
was
to
the
this
only
man.
one. Adora was the only one who was keeping the serve receive on
I
her
mean, no
bench, you know?
errors, no errors, but you're not helping the offense that much.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's a little weird. Did Nalani, has she played in previous matches
Not
the
too.
whole time? So
No,
like
she got moved up from the practice squad.
Okay, because it's like, what does her serve receive look like? Have we seen
Yeah,
it yet?
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, so that's
she's a rookie.
so. I mean, there you go. I guess.
And that's another thing where it's like, do you want your rookie to get in?
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah,
Are you getting her ready to take Georgia's role full time? If so, what'd you sign Georgia for 2 years for? You know,
yeah. Baffling.
it's just something we've never seen in this league before,
Yeah,
let
haven't
alone
seen
at this
it.
level.
yeah. I haven't seen that in a while, long time.
Not to say
But-
it can't work.
But
I mean, it just did.
You know,
a little.
We say that we haven't seen it, but how much college ball are we watching?
What do we
Not
know?
much.
What
Yeah.
do we know?
Again, don't even know if it's legal
Innovating.
in NCAA. I'm sure it is. If it's, but who knows? Who's to say?
Who's to say?
They had the mirror of like Omaha's sweep earlier in the week where they had like 13 service errors and still won in a sweep.
Yeah. So
Nice.
what were like
That's baffling.
numerically, what was different? Like, why did Omaha suffer? I visibly noticed bad defense.
Mm.
I saw that with mine own eyes.
Witnessed it.
Even with Brooke passing, okay, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Percent positive and percent perfect. I still don't know what the
So positive, I'm pretty sure are 2s and 3s, and perfects are 3s. So it's, one's a subset of the other.
Oh, so that's why nothing will ever add
They
up to
fit into
100.
each
It can be over 100%,
Correct.
which is why Camila's is in this game. She passed 62% positive. That's a 2
Yeah.
and a 3. And
inside
54%
of that,
perfect. That's a
yeah.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, what's interesting is that Brooke passed 50% positive and 50% perfect, which means that she only passed 3s
Perfect.
or 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing, she
Yeah,
either,
yeah.
which is an interesting thing. Like when I've coached and like the term better the ball is something that we think about a lot. There's like better the ball for your teammates. So like if the first person does a bad job, the second person should try to do better, not continue the shit.
Yeah.
But you can also think about it in your own brain. It's like if I'm passing 1s over and over and over again, not a great pass, but it's up, then instead of being like, no, this needs to be perfect, it's like, just make it a little bit better. Just make it a 2 instead. of
Yeah.
trying to aim for
Yeah.
perfection. And if Brooke is only passing threes or ones or zeros,
Yeah.
that's different than we've seen
Yeah.
from her.
Yeah. Let's get a refresher on our stats. So when
Thank
Nikki
you.
and I talk about threes and twos and ones, basically threes are perfect. The setter did not have to take maybe a step from their desired setting position. Twos, couple steps off the net, but I think you can still set the middle with a two.
I
Ones
find that to be
are,
arguable.
yeah. So according to the PVFs, what they are
Yeah.
saying,
Can set middle, but these setters don't. Is that what it says in there?
it says
Thank you for laughing at my joke, Ian.
we're talking in 3-2-1-0, but because of how they're scoring, they do 1-2-3-4. So one,
Instead of a zero.
yeah. So we're just so the
Okay.
stats work out. So it's like getting a little confusing
Hmm.
as I don't want to read verbatim because I'm like explaining this one way, but
I
their
get
stats
you.
mean something else. But it's all the same idea of you have a rating system for how good these passes are, and we don't need
Hmm.
to get too detailed, I guess, about
Yeah.
what specifically. Growing up, I always like to think about it as three, you had three options, two, you had two options, one, you had one option.
Hmm.
That doesn't really calculate when you're a professional player, but it's a good rule of thumb.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I was correct though that perfect are perfect passes, and then positive are going to be your perfect, and then whatever the step down from perfect is. So one
Gotcha.
is a subset of the other.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're
I can't
welcome.
believe I just said perfect
Intriguing.
again. Okay, well, so, and then Reagan passed pretty bad,
Yeah.
and the blocking wasn't really there. They tried the rookie parade again. That doesn't seem to be working for
Mm,
Omaha. Do you think that
no.
it's because Bird only puts her rookies in when they're losing?
Yeah.
So,
It doesn't set them up for success, that's for sure.
not for success on vibes, not for success on confidence in your players.
Yeah.
It's just a relief pitcher situation.
Yeah.
God, I
It
can't
just,
believe I just did another sports
oh my
metaphor.
gosh. You're done. You're done.
I'm done. I'm in timeout.
Yeah, that just like it wasn't the game for Omaha. But if we go to their other game that
Which
happened earlier,
I'd rather not. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, I mean, how much do we want to actually talk about Columbus? I mean, we can just keep saying the same stuff over and over again, but like,
So do we think that it's a vibes problem? Do we
Hmm.
think they need some team bonding? No, I'm joking. Those were all things I said last week.
um, you
Back
did say that.
office? Question marks?
I think they need to score more points,
Wow.
just like in
Ian,
general.
Ian, have we complimented you
The
on
ball
how well you
knowledge,
picked up
yeah,
volleyball?
I get it.
You're so good.
Turns out that if you score 25 points, you're most of the time going to win.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Most.
my observation is that their offense is so slow.
Mm,
I'm like constantly seeing, even on a perfect pass, like miscommunications
mhm.
where it's like, oh, the outside had to do a stutter step and then they get blocked. Not good. And then also I'm seeing the middles not moving side to side so hot and
Mm.
getting
Mhm.
blocks, getting their hands up. So it's just practice more. I
The thing is, we've seen them do those things before. It's
yeah,
not that they can't do it.
no. I think there's a level of trust maybe that's lacking.
Could be. I
And
don't
it
know,
I
doesn't
mean,
man.
help
yeah,
that
like
he's just switching the setters.
yeah. And they don't have like any, indie we've talked about. They don't do a ton of different stuff, but they have something they know they can go to and it'll work
Hmm.
out a lot. And like, it just seems like Columbus doesn't even know, where their easy stuff is coming from.
Yeah. Like I think they would like to rely on Megan Lush, but I haven't seen like an amazing match out of her yet where she has been the one that they can rely on.
Did Reagan Cooper come from Columbus originally?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a bit of a problem
Yeah.
in terms of having that reliable outside
Yeah.
who's just
Yeah.
gonna like crush the ball
Yeah.
consistently.
Because like
Like
Jill is not that.
she's not that this year, but she kind of was that for at least part of last year.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think she needs a faster set because I'm sorry to bring up her height. It feels like I
Wait,
can't
wait,
even
how
talk
tall is
about
she?
it.
I don't
I believe
remember.
she's 5'7".
Oh,
Um, yeah.
wow.
And I don't know, like practice more. I don't know.
I mean, they hit 036 and 093
Ugh.
2 games, and they
Jeez.
combined for 9 blocks while getting blocked like something like 27 times.
Yeah. I
Yeah, they
mean,
get blocked a lot. The
yeah.
setter switching is confusing.
Yeah.
Wait, can I say a thing that I heard?
Yeah.
So when they went to Indy on Sunday, the announcer, it was Paul. He told a little story in the third set while they're down in the third. He's like, really admire Angel Perez's coaching strategies and him thinking about ways that he can, get the most out of his players. I was in my hotel this morning and staying at the same hotel as the Columbus Fury in Indianapolis and was doing my workout and, saw the Columbus Fury team in the hotel pool, doing a little bit of I don't know what he said, honestly. This part, I was like so
Marco
shocked that he was
Polo.
telling the story. I was like, were they doing a team bonding? Were they doing a pool workout? Like, I must have blacked out. I don't remember what he said there. And he was like, and they skipped serve and pass this morning. I talked to Angel about it. He said, got to get the team better connected and kind of get them to relax a little, like not so much pressure on a potential first win. And then Paul goes and it didn't work out for him.
While the game's still going on.
Yeah, it's tough.
It hasn't been
Uh,
clearly it hasn't been working out for them, but I admire the try.
yeah.
And it did make me think back to last year,
Hmm.
later in the season when Kathy George didn't have her team serve and pass at Columbus. So
Hmm.
Rise took a break that morning from a long, grueling week of traveling about the country. And Angel slammed the table in the press conference afterwards because
Yes.
he was so mad that they came to their house and
Oh my gosh.
didn't
I
practice.
forgot about that.
And it's funny, like on one hand you can be like, what a hypocrite, but also do whatever gets your team riled up, like
Well, obviously it didn't work.
it worked
So
the first time.
actually,
Yeah.
I will say though the first set they were up the like I think the like
Hmm.
half set and then they Indy went now we're talking about them against Indy by
Yeah,
the way.
that's okay.
Um uh they went on an 11-4 run to win the match.
Brutal. It was so,
It
yes.
was so bad. It
What
was
was
like
happening? They were just hitting out of getting blocked a lot.
yeah, they got blocked
Ugh,
like I so many times. So many.
yeah.
They got
Maybe
blocked.
they started hot. Maybe they were pumped about that pool time that they
They
had
got they got blocked 7 times.
in that set.
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly, it's funny. I think coaches can do whatever the hell they want to do. Like,
Yeah.
you could tell that he last year when Rise did that was like using that as motivation for his team.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
how
yeah.
dare they come in here and not take you seriously? And it worked.
Yeah.
He seems to be the guy who's trying a bunch of different things, and the
Yeah.
pool workout wasn't it. But I think it's fine. Like I kind of am like, at first I was like, oh, hypocrite. And then I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also
whatever.
different
Like it'll always be
circumstances.
a thing where like if it works, you'll look like, oh, what a people person. Like it just gets sometimes you gotta unwind and like not take it so serious. But if it doesn't work, people are like, what the you're not taking it seriously. But yeah, like what do you do at this point? It's not like they don't know what's going wrong. Things aren't working.
What it what do we think the team that they're most likely to beat for their first win?
Ooh,
This is
it's
You're
tough.
asking me to fire a shot, Kelly. This is
Yeah.
who do you think that the really bad team can beat? But I do think it's the Mojo.
Let me look at the schedule.
Yeah, it would have to be at Columbus.
Their next game is the Rise at home,
That'll be tough for them, I do believe.
Yeah.
and then
Because Rise is so
and then
hot.
Orlando at home. Those are the next two.
Orlando still feels streaky to me. So like that could be it.
Yeah,
Who
we'll
did
see.
who did Columbus lose to in 5 recently? Grand Rapids. Interesting. That was last week.
So,
I
I
think
mean,
after
maybe.
that they also have Vegas. So like those are the next three to not go to 0 and 10.
I don't think
Uh
To
I
be
don't
one
think
of the
Vegas
Rise, the
Vegas
Thrill,
I don't
or
think that's
Orlando.
happening.
Vegas has been nasty.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep watching, hoping for them. We
hoping for the best.
yeah.
Since we're on it, do you want to talk about Indy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We'll bounce around timing a little bit
Yeah,
of
no,
that Sunday day.
I think that works great.
It's just the natural way it's progressed.
Yeah. Indy against Columbus on Sunday.
Hmm.
Um, I was so impressed by Nina.
Corrections corner.
Yep.
Chaich.
Chaich.
Right.
Nina
Chaich.
Chaich.
Chaich. It's kind
Um,
of two syllables. Thanks
That's
for
dope.
our YouTube commenter
yeah.
who fixed me on
Yeah,
that one. I
please
Yeah.
appreciate
help
it.
us fix names.
Um, which like now that you say that, I'm remembering the Paul, our guy,
Oh, our
the
guy Paul.
announcer. You could tell he was like, oh, he was like, Chaich. Like every
Yeah,
time
and
he
you know
said
what he
her
said a couple
name.
times? He said Nina a couple times too.
Yeah, because he's just like overthinking it.
He's just,
Which
Yeah.
it's
oh
like,
He's in
good
shit.
job.
sad, man.
But he's like, Chaich. I don't know. But I was really impressed with her. I thought she played great. She jumps so high,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
incredibly high. And I mean, also, Lakator had an amazing game too. So
As she's wont
very
Yeah, that
exciting.
to
helps.
do. I
Yep.
want to talk about the libero situation on Indy because Kylie Murr is a really good presence on this team. But not
Hmm.
one time have they tried to put Elena Scott in the libero position for her. They're doing
Yeah.
that DS thing.
Yeah. And she's playing consistently.
Yes, she will get in once a set, every set, pretty much,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to play. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's
Which
every
like
set. It's been lately, but she's been playing. Has she been playing right back for Azani Taylor?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And I mean,
Yeah, she
honestly,
got in every set this week
This week.
for them
Okay.
at least. Yeah.
I mean, she's a rookie. I think that's
Maybe fine.
I maybe. I don't know. I maybe she'll get a chance later on. I hope so.
I mean, Kylie Murray's been I think, a really consistent presence.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about after watching this game was the middle. We just haven't commented on it. She has had 5 concussions.
Yeah, is
Ugh.
this Lydia Martin?
It's a football level
Lydia
of
Martin. Yep.
concussions. I just use the football reference so Nikki can understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She can only speak in other sport
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a
metaphors.
problem for me. Wait, what's a
So
concussion? Those things that
Yeah.
football players get?
Yeah, from
yeah.
football, you know them.
So if you're wondering what the thing is around her neck, it is a medical device that I think is FDA
Something.
in review, whatever,
Yeah.
whatever
The FDA is
nonsense.
aware of it.
It's just tough to tell like what's real and what's like those
To
breast bracelets my
yeah,
grandfather used to wear to
basically,
help his arthritis.
the science of behind it because I was just so interested in it. It's promoting some sort of I don't know, basically so that the your brain isn't jostling around too much. It's like limiting the
Yeah.
amount of extra space in between your skull and your brain.
Mhm.
By, I think, restricting blood flow.
No, I think it's promoting it.
More blood flow?
I don't know.
I also skimmed
Yeah.
an article, not a
Yeah.
TikTok video, for the record, an
Not a,
actual article.
was it a scientific journal?
No, I feel like it was like
White paper?
like the Times. I read
Okay.
the abstract.
The abstract, yeah.
And it was something with blood flow, but I
Yeah.
could be misremembering that.
Yeah.
Kooky crazy.
I
Sure.
mean, like we always seem to run into the same problem with concussions everywhere, where it's like there's only so much you can do because it actually turns out that your skull is hard. So, like, if your brain hits the
Yeah.
thing that is around your brain, like that will hurt it as well. You
Yeah.
can't pad inside there.
And
Yeah.
also, like, this thing is not going to lessen the side effects that she may be experiencing from having 5 concussions, which I'm sure she has some, right? 5 is a
We'll
lot.
just hopefully
I
prevent.
think they say like 1 is like too many. If she gets hit again, it's like to prevent the damage more.
Yeah, sure.
How does a middle blocker get concussions?
Bonk,
Just
middle,
ball to the head.
bonk on the
By the
block,
ball?
by the blocking, yeah. By the blocking.
Yikes. I'm
Yeah.
used to concussions coming from liberos who hit their head on the floor, or
Yeah.
anybody who plays back row, head to floor, or collisions into somebody, which is
Yeah.
frequently, I mean, middles
I
love
mean,
to collide, but
ball the thing is about concussions is that it doesn't actually have to hit that hard. And
Mhm.
if it hits you in the right place,
Mm.
Yeah.
it,
And they also
it's
say like
bad.
it is damaging it's incredibly damaging even having subconcussive hits if it's a lot of them over a long period of
Yeah.
time, right? Like it
Mm.
doesn't have to even be like getting a full concussion. If that's happening regularly, obviously it can have bad effects. It's just yeah.
Okay, well,
That was just our
wishing
educational moment. If you're
I
wondering
mean,
what,
yeah.
wishing her luck.
And when we were talking about Indy, like I don't know, they lost in the reverse sweep to Vegas earlier in the week.
oh yeah.
They had some
Back to
hitting
volleyball. Yeah,
problems
okay.
late.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know how seriously to take. Did they turn it around on the weekend on Sunday, or did they just play Columbus
Yeah.
Was it
and they
just the
didn't hit like
same?
a ton better?
Yeah, especially
I
going
don't know what to
from
think.
because they played at Vegas.
Hmm.
I would have expected more jet lag for that.
Love to speculate on jet lag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love talking about that.
Well, when
Um,
they even got over there, wasn't that game at Vegas? Yeah, it started at 9 p.m. Central Time.
yeah, that's
So
rough.
just that match 5 sets, they looked tired
Yeah,
by the fourth.
I'm sure
All
they were
of
happy
them.
to be back in their time zone.
Sure, sure. But like that's more the switch was the switch back didn't seem to be as problematic to me as them needing to play so a start time that was so late.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not getting there more than 48 hours, right?
Yeah, it's that max.
Yeah.
I would, if I was coaching, I would have them practice at 9 p.m. the whole week.
Yeah.
Change your body clock. Wake up at 10 a.m., everybody.
Sure.
We've got 9 p.m. practices the whole
Yeah.
week. That's my, apparently I want to be a coach now.
Yeah.
That's my big
Get back
suggestion to the
get
coaching
back into
staff.
that.
I just might.
So was the indie game the game where Alicia had that amazing set from her back?
I think so.
That was so
Yes.
fun.
It was incredible.
The only thing that would have made that better is if the person that hit the third contact like hit it
I know that was
and got a kill. But she still got a
that was
kill.
charity. But the
Yeah.
thing was she was coming from middle back and I was just so happy that she went and
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Like that she was able to go to move over fast enough
Yeah.
to go attack it. Like it
Yeah.
was actually a really heads up play from
Uh-huh.
charity. The funny thing was that it did start with Alicia falling down to get a ball that she didn't get. You know, like
Yeah.
it's
Right place,
it,
right time.
that match, the 5 setter, we saw Mary Schroll as the libero.
Yeah.
Switched her in the I think second for a little bit, and then she started the third, and a reverse sweep.
Wow.
She passed 69% positive.
That's pretty good. Okay, I want to talk about the fourth set of the Indy versus Vegas thrill reverse sweep because Vegas said no.
Yeah.
We
That was a
are
wild
we
one.
are for every serve we're going to get a side out or we're going to get an extra point and double your score, which is what
Oh,
happened.
because they were crushing them at the
Yeah.
beginning. Oh, wait, and it even ended up 25-12. I
That's what I was
couldn't
Yeah,
remember
thinking.
if this is the
25-12.
one where there was one where they were well ahead and then let them catch up a little bit. And honestly, that could have been any match. So ignore me. Could have been any team.
But
This
yeah,
is
they
the
kept
crush
them.
one.
They hit I mean, Indy hit negative for that whole fourth set.
Yeah.
So that
They only had
Carried
6
over to
digs.
yeah.
Vegas, it's fun to watch.
Uh-huh.
Fun to see them. I mean, now they're number one, right?
Can you
Yep.
believe, were they
Yeah.
last year at the end?
Close to it.
Let me check. I think they were last, 8-16.
Wow.
They were 3-9 at home. I do believe they've already surpassed that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, they couldn't win at home.
They had a lot of problems
Yeah,
winning
they've
at
won
home.
5 home games already.
They've already won more home games this year than all of last season, and we just got into like a quarter of the season.
Yeah, 6-2, and they've played the most games in the league already. Plus, one of those wins this week was against Indy, so a deserved jumping of them in the standings.
They've swept no times.
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
like to play.
they've
And
You know?
they're
so many
They're in it
sets,
for the
so
love
many
of the
more
game.
sets than the other teams.
Well,
But like
long- they have
they've
to-
won first sets like in that last game, so now they're on the road.
They're on their way,
To
and they
sweep.
need to be because Alicia's tired, guys.
There's a lot going
She's
on.
doing great. I mean, yeah,
No,
she's so
she's doing
tired.
amazing.
She's setting from the ground. She's like, I just need to
Yeah,
lay
I mean,
down.
like, so the second most points won in the league is 633 points won by the Atlanta Vibe, and Vegas have won 743 points. So
They've played so many
110
more
more.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to need to be a little bit quicker. I'm sure that's what they're working on now.
Yeah.
Is like, how do we
But they're
speed this up a
banking
bit?
wins still, going long games, but still winning.
So when they won that first set against Vibe, the camera went to the bench, and Kendall White seems to be like coach on the bench lately. Like she's commanding the attention of everyone when they come off of the court. She's like giving a lot of feedback, and it was just her with ones on her hand, and you could see she was saying the first set, we won the first set. Like she was so excited, she was pumping them up for winning the first set,
Oh
and
my
like that's
gosh.
the kind of energy you need.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was so good. Wait, do we
They were
talk about
serving
that now? That match?
Yeah. So now, yeah,
Vegas.
let's move on to the Thrill versus Vibe. I mean, if we're done talking about Thrill versus Indie.
Yeah, the
I
two
think
win
so.
teams on the week.
Wow, this little step by step.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working great.
Because next we'll talk about Vibe in San Diego, and then we'll do San Diego and Grand Rapids, and then we'll do Grand Rapids and Orlando, and then that's it.
Wow. We didn't even draft that up.
That should have been
That should have been.
the plan.
It's like, what is it? Like a squiggle? Like a snake?
It's
Like
like a serpent
Leapfrog.
draft.
a leapfroggy meandering through the week. Vegas at Atlanta this on Sunday. I think the best match of the day, the best volleyball
Oh
of the day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And not to say that a sweep can't be good volleyball.
No.
Let me put that out there. But this was good volleyball.
Yeah. Like both teams were hitting well, so it was
Yeah,
fun to
Atlanta hit
watch.
300
Yeah.
and Austin 4.
Wild.
And so it just came down to tenacity and spirit.
Oh. Working class
So when you ask
volleyball.
me, so when you ask me, how come Thrill won? Tenacity and spirit.
Yeah. Honesty in their play.
Morgan Stout is like, hey, I'm going to play now.
Yeah, love it.
You get the opportunity and you may do something with
Yeah.
it.
I feel
She's
like
like,
Erica Pritchard was kind of similar.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I went to Wichita State. You probably haven't heard of me, but you
Yeah.
have now.
Yeah.
The numbers she's putting up.
Watch what I can do. We love a Hannah just racking up the kills.
For sure. Any Hannah
Any Hannah.
will do. But like, was it the serve errors? Atlanta had 12.
Yeah.
It was kind of the serve errors.
I think it might have been the serve errors. I
Wow.
mean, okay, 4 plus 6, 10.
Are you
I
looking at
mean,
point
yeah.
deficits?
Yeah.
Yeah, rare for us to see somebody get more aces than errors.
Atlanta missed 6 in the third set alone.
That's
I mean,
half.
that's the one that they won.
That's the one that they won?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what it doesn't make
boy.
any sense.
No, not sorry. The
No.
stats actually can't tell us anything. We should stop.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
that happened earlier in the week too.
Well, I mean,
it
okay,
doesn't make
no.
any sense.
Let's follow this train of thought. Okay, the first set they lost by 2 points. They had 3 service errors while Vegas had 0. Okay, that's the game. In the first,
And
or that's
Vegas
the
had
set.
2 aces and Vibe had none.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean at that first set, that was the one I talked about in the Scorner. They were up 19-15. They end up losing this set on a service error from Leah
Correct.
Edmonds. So like you just kind of take that one and move on. Like she's your best player.
She
It
top
just
spin
happens sometimes.
serving
No,
nowadays.
she's a really fast float,
Okay.
jump float. And
Yeah,
it's
so it was
good.
just really close in those first 2 sets, and they didn't win either of them, and
Yeah.
it happens.
It is like so wild. Like, I know we just keep comparing it to last year. Just Vibe was like such a force and they were unstoppable. And now it's just kind of like, oh, no, they're like not really a factor. Compare
Well,
when
and
Which
it's
is
just like,
wild.
it's so wild.
I guess like it's hard. Last year we talked a lot about them having like whether you call it luck or being really good late in those close sets, and they were winning all those 2-set or
Oh,
2-point
yeah.
sets last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And maybe you just have to accept that like there's gonna be some regression there. Like you can
Yeah.
that's it, that was wild. you can't rely on that every year. And they're still, they're 4-3 right now.
Yeah, they're in third. Like it's
They're
not.
still good,
Yeah,
like,
no, yeah, they are still
I
good.
mean,
but
maybe
yeah,
And
unless
like
that's just
like,
alphabetical.
they were the dominant team
and
last
I,
year in the regular
yeah,
season, but
and I feel they will be consistent and they will just progressively get just a little bit better, I
Hmm.
think, as the season goes. So it's still
yeah,
long season.
I think it was like Leah Edmonds' best week still, and
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
that's
it's good to
good.
see
Can we talk
her
about
crush it.
Marley?
Yeah,
Mm,
what's going on?
I
I mean,
and in this game, I understand Mia Tuaninga starting, mostly playing. That makes sense to me. If you need a switch up, what are you putting Whitney Bauer in for?
yeah,
Respectfully. Is Marley hurt?
res-
she must be.
respectfully, respectfully.
I'm
She
sorry. I'm
must be.
sorry. Whitney, I'm sure Whitney's very nice.
This is just how setters talk about each other, I guess.
I feel like Marley has to be hurt. Mia played fine also. It just seems like something
She had
else
a
is going on
yeah,
there.
she had a really
Yeah,
good game early in the
yeah,
week.
She did.
So I
yeah,
would totally understand her getting the start on Sunday, but like, yeah, you're right. For Marley not even coming in, you would think there's something they're looking out for.
yeah,
Hmm.
something.
But I don't know. Like, I thought the same thing about Jill, and they've been
Yeah,
putting Jill in, and like, she hasn't been playing well.
yeah,
So I
Hmm.
don't know if that confirms the like maybe there's something up, or it's just, stuff they see at practice, and
Sure.
that's why they coach the team. And I'm just like a dumbass that watches the team play.
Nikki, from a setter's perspective, like
Yeah.
what do you see as like the main reason why a setter would get pulled mid game? Like, do you think it's the setter is actually making mistakes or and they need someone better?
It could be that. Like, I've seen some things happen with some setters where, like, you just keep trapping your hitter by setting the ball too tight into the blocker, right? Like, sometimes getting blocked is the hitter's fault, but sometimes getting blocked is the setter's fault. And that, like, not every time when the setter says my bad is it actually their bad, but the reality is that, like, a lot of
Sometimes.
times
Yeah.
it can be their bad.
Yeah.
So I've seen setters get taken out for, like, placement or tempo, consistently missing placement and
Hmm.
tempo to the point, not just where, oh, that wasn't a perfect set, so do better on the next one. It's like the point ends because that set was imperfect in the wrong way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I see when you get into that rut and you're making imperfect sets that are screwing up everything, new setter. But I don't feel like I've seen that with Atlanta. Generally speaking, another thing that maybe Columbus is doing right now is like, we need a new energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need someone
Something
who
isn't working. We can't put our
has
finger on it. Maybe
different.
if we change the quarterback,
Yes.
things
The
will change.
No, thank you. Thank you for that. The connections. Every setter has a different relationship with each hitter. So sometimes, like, if that setter is really connected to those four people,
Yeah.
let's try this setter who's really connected to those two and is medium on those four, like just to see if
Yeah.
another hitter is hot.
Yeah.
I think that also, like, the blocking liability can be a thing.
Oh,
The,
yeah.
if you're not picking up balls on defense in the way that you should be, if you're not communicating in transition the way you should be, right? Like, these are all reasons why I would pull a setter, but sometimes it is like an inexplicable vibe
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the case of vibe, that seems to be what
Because
they're
That's
I don't
doing.
know. Yeah, like they beat San Diego in four, and they lost a game where they hit 300. I'm sure it seems like to them like it is working.
Hmm. No, the setter's great.
You're hitting 300, but yeah, like those spell moments, it seems like if you go into a game and hit 300, you're probably and lose, probably like, hey, not too bad.
yeah.
Sure.
Win that most times.
Totally.
Speaking of the game against Mojo, where
Yeah.
they
Mm,
won. Yeah, Mia Tuaninga
Perfect.
got it. 7 kills on
yeah,
10 attempts, 0 errors,
57 assists on the night. Like,
which is so
She was
fun.
rolling.
Yeah, and like we said, Leah Edmond, amazing match. 21 kills, 2 errors.
Yeah,
That's
she's back.
475.
that's crazy for an outside. 475.
475.
Whoa. This I
475 on
can't.
40 attempts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that was the
back.
one where San Diego won their first set against them, and it was a 26-24 set. So
Yeah.
other than that, they were rolling pretty easy.
Yeah, San Diego, I don't know.
Mm,
Wasn't happening.
Yeah, it was a tough week.
Yeah,
tough week for the Moj.
for the Moj.
They ended up, yeah, because they lost that one, and then they ended up getting swept by the Rise, the closer of the sweeps that we saw on
Sure.
Sunday, I would say, but still.
I thought Maya Tabron did pretty well in the back row in particular. Um, I'll say not on serve receive, but defensively and getting swings from the back row. I thought she was strong in that second match. Janasia didn't get it done. That was a big difference compared to when Mojo has been successful. We've seen her do really well
Yeah,
on the outside.
yeah,
So that was why I think it ended up that Maya got back in the third. That was a bit of a head scratcher, that match. Like, it was energy. They were traveling Pacific time to East Coast time. Am I right?
yeah. That's tough. It's hard moving west to east.
Love to make sure that we give the time zones a nod.
Shout out
Um,
to time zones, making
wait,
everyone's lives harder.
Dayan Lee had 11 attempts, the same number of attempts as almost as Ronica Stone.
Wow.
So that's not something that you like to see.
Yeah, not how you're drawing it up.
Um, I mean, she did have 4 kills, but also was
They
blocked a
also
couple
got
of
like
times.
Allison Bastianelli had as many blocks as the Mojo did that game. So
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh
that
Well,
my
was a
gosh, she's
Grand
such a good
Rapids just
blocker.
I know. Grand Rapids just had no like nothing could have got them down
Yeah,
at
unstoppable.
home on the Lord's Day, you
yeah.
know?
August was out there doing her thing.
Naya Shimei continuing to impress,
Yes.
frankly. 2 blocks and 9 digs. She can play defense too. What can't she do? I don't have an answer. Obviously, you heard the silence. Uh, love to see August. August had 10 digs in this game, but I think I saw 26 digs earlier in the week in the five
Yeah,
setter.
26 digs with her 51 assists, and she had 5 kills that game at 625.
That is more digs than the Libero had, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
In that match,
Led the team.
which I
Wow.
love Ogilvy, to be honest.
Yeah, she had 22.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
she's doing great. I
that's
feel
a
like
day.
this Grand Rapids team is hitting their stride.
Yeah.
They know who their roster is now.
Yep. Kathy George is she's like making choices, you know?
She's
She's like,
making
Yeah.
choices.
and they seem to be good ones.
Could be coach of the year on our hands.
Oh,
Just a
Ooh.
suggestion.
or
We
whatever.
already talked about Erica Pritchard having a nasty week, but she also no service errors the whole week and 3 aces.
We love to see it.
Gorgeous.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Do
Is
you
it
have anything
time?
you want to write in some sort of letter format to the PVF?
Who, me?
Maybe
Yeah.
sincerely.
Dear PVF.
All right, let me pull up the clock.
Thank you so much. So, if you need a little reminder about what this segment is all about, we love the PVF. We love them so much. We watch them so much. Shout out Jen Spiker. You know, we're in it. We stand by them. And because we love them, we like to give them a little bit of feedback. So, this is our moment to write them a letter. Any
And
kind of
just
feedback.
in just 30 seconds of it.
30
Obviously,
seconds
we had
only.
no other feedback this entire
The
episode
rest of the minutes.
except for these 30 seconds.
So, this week it's going to be me,
Yep.
Nikki.
All right. Ready, set, go.
So the Bolt 6 system, obviously we know a lot about it. We love it. We know that it's quick. We know that it's effective. But here's the problem. When there is a challenge and there is a graphic that says what the outcome of the challenge was, it is behind the fucking score. So we cannot see the outcome. We can only see a box. A box, the top of the box, the yellow line on the top. You can't see positive, negative,
5 seconds.
reversed, not reversed. And so we need that to go 2 inches higher. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Done.
What do we got coming at us for the 5th week of the PVF? I'll tell you. 2 matches on Thursday. Omaha at Indy, Orlando at Vibe. They start at the same exact time. So you'll need to dual screen that shit. Friday the 7th,
Both on
we
YouTube.
have. Oh, yes, that's both on YouTube. Friday, February 7th, also 2 matches. Grand Rapids at Columbus, Vegas at San Diego. Everyone's happy. They're in their time zones. There's no issues there. Those are consecutive. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 10:05 Eastern is the second one. Love a little '05. You can find that on YouTube. And then I do believe the second one is a VBTV exclusive. Really easy to get a free account with VBTV. And sometimes they do some weird stuff with like I was watching and just all of a sudden it jumped a set prior. And I
Oh,
was like, oh my, is it happening again? And then I realized I was rewatching the same set from 25 minutes ago. So, watch that. But love a little cast to the television. You'll think it's YouTube if you don't pay too much attention. On Saturday, February 8th, we have 2 more matches. Indy at Orlando, Omaha at Atlanta. That's that old rivalry we like to mention. And then in a genius feat of scheduling choices, the PVF decided not to schedule any games on Super Bowl Sunday. So
Nice.
smart.
Good job.
really intelligent stuff. But that's it. That's how many games? That would be 6
6.
in week 5. Very manageable. Thanks for listening to Court Captain's Volleyball Podcast. Please give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and like and subscribe on YouTube if you like what you're hearing. Support small podcasts. If you don't like what you're hearing, then please just go ahead and mind your business. Follow us on Instagram at Court Captains Pod and email us your questions or comments at courtcaptainspod@gmail.com. We haven't gotten any listener questions in a while to the email, to the Gmail. So always encourage that. Thanks so much.
And don't forget to be the captain of your own court.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
For real.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Bye.
When they won that first set against fuck.